Mr. Scary Studios.
I don't know shit about Facebook. I started an account last year to promote my website. Not much happened. I plugged my Facebook address pretty much everywhere. I went, and a while fans trickled in, and one or two even shared some of the content I posted. My page wasn't growing nearly as quickly as I'd hoped. Fast forward a couple months, same problem in total. I think my page was struck around 100 likes. The majority of those were from the first week. I started the page, and a bunch of nice Reddit users felt sympathy for me and visited, clicked like, and never came again. I can't blame them, to be honest. I was in a creative rut. Very little new content was coming out, and whatever did reach completion was nothing but a rehashing of older, more popular stories I'd done in the past. I was hoping to piggyback on their successes. It didn't work. It was obvious that interest was wanting. All this was coming at a bad time. My Tumblr, which had done spectacularly well for the first 4 months of its existence, was also stagnating. Followers were disappearing again. I can't blame them. Why follow a blog that just reposts old stories without putting anything out that's new or interesting? I reached a point where I was starting to think writing wasn't for me, and I'd have to rethink everything I'd envisioned for my future. Out of nowhere, sometime in April, I got a notification on Facebook page that had been mentioned. I clicked through and was astonished to find out that a page with nearly 10 million fans had posted one of my older stories and had credited my own Facebook page. As the content creator, messages and likes came in droves. Friend requests too. I didn't know what to do with all the newfound interest in my work. My creativity hadn't been picked by it all. But my enthusiasm had reemerged. I chatted with people who messaged me. I gave advice to aspiring writers, despite not really believing any of what I was saying. And I even agreed to collaborate another semi-well-known author on a piece at some point in the fall. As April progressed more and more, people were visiting my page and inhaling my old content each day. I'd spend hours replying to notifications and messages, sometimes holding 10 real-time conversations at once. It felt good to be connecting with people again. It's something I hadn't really done at all since high school, and that was almost 20 years ago. I grew close with a couple of people who'd been messaging me. People from all over the world, in fact. We chatted about nothing and everything, to use a cliché that I despise but find impossible to avoid. The more we talked, the closer we got. There were about 25 people out of the hundreds who I really felt a connection with. I think it was mutual too. We chatted together on Facebook, and then we started doing group emails. In May, Charles, one of the 25, suggested a meetup. Obviously, for some of them, it was impossible. Quite a few were way too far away for that to be possible for them. But 8 or 9 of us were all within around 300 miles of one another. After working through some logistical issues, we made it happen. 7 people showed up. I got to meet 7. Wonderful people: Charles, Lynn, Malcolm, Anita, Bev, Melly, and Raj. We met up at a small restaurant in the Tribeca area of New York. We chatted and laughed and had an all-around fantastic time. I enjoyed myself and my new friends more than I can even express. But it was Bev who really stood out. We'd grown close online, but I never had any hope of getting much closer than that. It all changed when we met. While we all shared stories and jokes and beers around the table, Bev and I held hands. She squeezed my fingers with her own, and I stroked her wrist and toyed with her bracelet. During the brief glances we shared with one another, we both knew something special was happening. When it was obvious, the night was coming to an end, and everyone headed back to their respective hotel rooms or homes. Bev and I remained together. We headed back to her hotel room and let things take their natural course. It was truly wonderful. After it all was over, Bev got up from the bed to take a shower. I propped myself up with my laptop on my lap, happily reminiscing about the time not only she and I had spent together, but the time all of eight of us had shared hours earlier. I decided to go on Facebook and leave individual messages for my new friends to show how much I appreciated them. While clicking to where I needed to go, I realized I'd never even visited their pages before. We'd either on my page or through email. I clicked on Malcolm's first. It was weird. A lot of his friends had posted some pretty depressing emo stuff on his wall. I wrote my little thank you paragraph and then headed over to Charles's page. Same thing, just had sad stuff. I wrote my letter and moved on. Lynn, Raj, and Melly's were the same. A strange feeling started inside my chest and gradually bloomed outward, while goose flesh prickled my limbs. I clicked on Anita's wall, more depressing messages. One in particular caught my eye. We'll always love you, Anita. You will always be our beautiful, sweet daughter. It was from her parents, dated 2011. The feeling of discomfort and dread intensified. I went back to all the other pages I'd just been to and scrolled down. All the depressing messages were from between 2009 and 2016. They all had been something in common. They were saying some variant of goodbye. Doing my best to control my breathing, I navigated to the one page I hadn't visited yet. Bev's, the message on her wall, dated February 2nd, 2016. God bless you and keep you. You were taken from us far too soon, sweet girl. A loud thud sounded from the bathroom, causing me to jump. I got up quietly, asking Bev, are you okay? No response. I walked slowly toward the bathroom, a sense of doom weighing me down, my body. Knocked on the door. No reply. Just a sound of water running. I turned the doorknob and entered the bathroom. The room was steamy and warm with an intense, unpleasant odor. Bev, I asked, my head starting to spin with fear. I gripped the shower curtain between my thumb and forefinger and carefully pulled it open. I screamed. Hot water streamed down the remains of a bloated, rotting corpse. Stringy blonde hair was plastered to the side of a gray face, with a purple tongue bulging through the lips that looked like dark green banana slugs. Grayish-yellow slime drooled from between her legs and puddled thickly near the drain. Before I could turn away and throw up, I saw the bracelet on her wrist that I'd played with at the restaurant. I heaved and retched into the toilet, trying to tell myself this was all impossible and Bev was alive and normal and everything was okay. I closed my eyes and turned around to face the tub. I made the sign of the cross, opened my eyes, and nearly fainted with relief. The bathtub was empty. I inhaled. The smell, for the most part, was gone. I sank to the floor and tried to collect myself. The horror I'd felt replaced with an immediate concern for my own mental health. I didn't know if I should call 911 right away or go to the hospital first thing in the morning and get checked out. I dragged myself to my feet and headed toward the bathroom to lie down for a few minutes. As I was crossing between the room, I glanced in the garbage can next to my sink. My used condom sat inside, like a deflated grub covered in grayish yellow slime. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.